What is going on, chat? Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing? Morning, Pareed, Vape Lord, DJ, Miv, Toga, Slants, TJ. Good morning, good morning. Going to be an interesting day today. Morning, Christine. All right, let's go through. I want to go through the NASDAQ level first, and then really quickly, and then we'll go through the ES. So for the NASDAQ, as you can see here on my chart, let's go on the 15-minute time frame so we can see kind of a broader picture. Um, we're starting to break above that 29K level. All right, that's kind of my key level for this breakout today. So we've been in this consolidation for quite some time, right? So that's one, two, three. This is going to be the fourth day, and we're kind of looking to break out after the CPI data came out. So the level that I'm going to keep an eye on for today is going to be this 29K, the 29,900, right? 29,900, 29,900, 29,900, right? And we did break out of that level and we retested it and we're kind of bouncing. So as long as this level hold here going forward, I'm interested in taking this to the upside. Um, 30K is still gonna be the key level, right? The 30,000 to 30,100. Um, that's kind of your monthly supply that we need to break out of. If we do see some very aggressive participant at the 30K and we kind of break right above it, right, where we see some type of push up and then retracement, I'm looking to play that to the upside as well. I'm going to use the Nasdaq as a confluence into, taking positions into the what do you call that? To ES. All right, give me 1 second here. Okay, so that's going to be for the Nasdaq. I wouldn't want it to kind of break below that 29. Uh, what's going on? I wouldn't want it to break that 29.9, right? We'll give it until like 29,850, but wouldn't want it to kind of trade back below that 29,900 level on the Nasdaq. With ES, let me just set this up really quick. We got some very good levels here today on the S&P 500 futures. So as you can see here, this is on the 15-minute time frame, right? As you can see here, this is your top of the range, which is right around that 7787 to 7792, and this is the bottom of your range, right around that 7740. And this consolidation happened after making this massive move last week, right? You had that crazy move, and now we're just consolidating. This to me is a bullish price action, right? This to me is a bullish price action. Um, so the level of interest for today will be, it's going to be the midpoint, which is going to be this blue line right here, the 7765 to 7770. As you can see, price reactive whenever we're trading below it, right? We're getting rejection there. And when you're trading above it, you're getting support. And then in yesterday's price action as well, when you get that initial flush, right? When you got the initial flush to the downside, you got a little bit of a retracement there and you got rejected and you got that follow throughs. So for today, if we can continue to hold this, I'm interested in taking this to the upside, right? Maybe we get a little bit of retracement for a push up, or a very bullish scenario would be a break above the 7792 to 7795. Um, this is 810, 811 resistance, right? Even last week's resistance. Lots of touches there. And what's happening right now during pre-market? Right, we're getting the rejection there. So this is the level that we need to see for a potential, maybe a push up, retracement, right, where we find aggressive buyers or aggressive sellers that are, becoming trapped. and we play that to the upside. So very, very clean levels that we need to keep an eye on. Right? It's all about just finding an entry and getting some confirmation there to follow the trend. So again, we're starting to break out. I'm favoring bulls today, right? Longs. The only time that I'll look for a short is if we can see some very aggressive sellers here at this 7792. All right. Hope you guys are ready. We have about less than 30 seconds here until the market opens. So that's going to be my plan. Now we know the context of the market, right? We're in the bullish trend. We know the location, the areas of interest that we're going to execute the trade on. And then all we need to do is look for the confirmation. Market's open. Good luck. Good luck. Getting a little bit of rejection here right out the gate after printing that large delta buy there at 7792. Very aggressive push down here right at the open. Same thing with the Nasdaq, right? That 30K is now rejecting as well. Morning, Barath. So just keep an eye on that. I mean, this is just a technical rejection currently that's happening. Now, what we need to keep an eye on is, are buyers going to step in here, maybe at this blue zone, or are sellers going to be aggressive at this level? Which currently what we're seeing, right? We have the scenario A or scenario one, where inside the supply zone, you're getting those large aggressive buyers, and then you're getting the reaction, which is the push down. Currently bearish, right? Currently bearish. So now let's see if we can find some pullbacks here to kind of follow this this trade here. Crazy how both indices got rejected at those key levels that we have. Some very large delta here, as you can see, negative delta, aggressive sellers at that 7775. You can also see it here on the heat map. We're nearing VWAP currently. And on the footprint, you can also see that as well, right? Right there. Some fails happening here, 500 lots, delta buy. Morning, Don. Morning, Leo. What are we seeing here currently? We got a technical bounce at the VWAP, right? We got these aggressive sellers here at the 7774, followed by aggressive buys, and we're kind of hovering around this level. Let's keep an eye on this one. Starting to see some absorptions here, right? At the low. We got some passive order there at 7774. That just got removed. NASDAQ now. A lot of transaction happening at 29,900. As you can see here, right? 29,900. Lots of transaction happening there. So let's keep an eye on that one. Morning, John. So currently, what are we seeing? Just based on the delta profile, we got these sellers here at the low 7775, 7774, right? Followed by what? Look at the delta here. Right above it, delta buys, right? This is a bullish pattern right at this level. Now what I need to see is a push away from this zone. Right, a push away from this zone, maybe a retracement to play the long here. Do we need to keep into account that 7792 absorption that happened there, buy side absorption, which is a bearish setup? Yeah, I think if we're gonna play this long here, we would be targeting the supply here first. We want to see how it reacts at this level. I think a confirmation for continuation to the upside, again, what I said during the pre-market, is a break above it, right? A break above it. Lots of orders happening, being executed here. Something's going on. This is kind of giving me yesterday's vibe. Remember the morning session where we saw large participants occurring at a certain level? This is kind of giving me the same vibes. Remember, it happened right around 7780 to 7785. and currently we're right below it. Are you guys favoring long today, or are you guys favoring short? Long, but Fareed said, can this be considered as a buying absorption as heavy buying activity, but price is not going up? Yeah, it is as well. Yes, this can be considered. So you can frame both ways, right? So first is the bearish price action after this absorption at 7792. Second is you got the selling pressure at the lows, and then you got to push up, right? Typically, I view that as a bullish price action, but again, you're breaking right below it now, right? And then you're, as you can see on the heat map, more selling happening. Would I have executed a short here? No, it wasn't enough confirmation for me. And as well as the reason why I wasn't looking for a short based on that information, based on that absorption, is remember what I said during the pre-market. I am looking to play. I'm only looking for, like, you know, the location that I have already mapped out to execute my trades on. And if I was executing a trade here, right, you're so close to this demand zone that I have. So for me, it's not, because this is a potential bounce area, right? So for me, like, I just can't execute a trade and having just what, a 5 point, like looking for a 5 point move. That's just not the way how I trade. So yeah, 940s. Yeah, that's a pretty big absorption there. Good eye, TJ. Very good eye. This is what TJ is seeing. Let me just switch real quick. See this? The 29,940. Yep, you got that absorption there. You got the rejection. But a lot of transaction here at the 29K. I'm still going to be using this as my area of interest. If we can break above here, right? If we can get above that, I'm interested. I need to see something here. But again, look at this absorption here as well as at the low, 770s. Remember my rule, right? If you're gonna take a trade just based on the absorption, right? You're not waiting for the confirmation, or you have a different confirmation, feel free to do so. For me, I like to see absorption happening. I like to see a directional move, right? Whether it's upside or downside, right? And I'll look for that retracement to play. We had some liquidity there at 7785s. Remember 7785s, that's where we had lots of rejection from yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember that. I remember that vividly because that's where I got chopped, right? From the morning session, you got that initial dump right after. So It's going to require a lot of patience today, guys. You gotta be patient today. Remember what happened yesterday. If you guys journaled the trades, if you guys followed the trade that I took, or if you guys had the same idea as I did, I got chopped up on that one. Again, this is me speaking in hindsight, but the right trade from yesterday was we should have waited for a reaction instead of getting in the position and looking for that breakout, whether it's upside or downside. And the right idea was we had that. Remember, we had that. One second here. We had this level here, right, that we talked about right on market open. We were actually looking for a retest where it gets rejected to play the short side. And what happened? We kind of got caught, or at least I did. I kind of got caught with the intraday price action where I saw some absorption happening, right, on the sell side, which is bullish. And I tried to jump the gun and enter it instead of waiting for a break above the 7785, right, where it moves up and then retraces to confirm that entry. So I'm not gonna make that same mistake today. I'm gonna wait for the confirmation. We had the location again, right? We're just waiting for confirmation here. That's why kind of like if you're just beginning, journaling your trades really helps because you're able to identify what mistakes you did, and you can kind of think about it, right, and kind of process it. So then the following day, you're like, oh, this is what I did yesterday. I understand why I was wrong, and now I'm gonna apply that into today's session. Whereas if you're just, not journaling your trades or you're just going about your day as like, hey, today's another day, let's just trade. I don't think you're learning, right? You have to be a good loser to be able to, to be successful in this profession. And what I mean by that is take your losses as a learning curve, like as a learning lesson. You have to take something out of it instead of just taking the loss just because it's a loss. Nasdaq here, we're kind of getting a push above the 29,900. I like that. That's something that I'm looking into. But again, ES here, just struggling. It does. And especially TJ, if you imagine if you have the data, right? Let's, for example, even if it's you're doing bad in trading, but you have, let's say 3-6 months from now, you have all that data that you can kind of manipulate and kind of learn from, right? Then you understand what you're doing wrong, and you can kind of tweak your trading strategy. All right, guys, we have about 48 people watching here today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Can we get the likes to 25, maybe 30? Appreciate it. All right, we're getting a little bit of a move now here. So viewing this as a kind of a sweep, right? So you got that large aggressive trades here that came through. You swept right below it and immediately went above, and then now you're getting these big aggressive orders coming in, which I like. So keep an eye on this one. Again, it's bouncing at our area of interest, right? That's the location. Contacts were We're bullish bias. We're above yesterday's kind of key important zones. Now let's look to see if we can find a confirmation here. Or a retracement. Actually, we have the confirmation now. We just need a retracement here. Thing is, ES is continuing to struggle here. I would have liked the kind of a continuation here to the like above 7785. Hindsight, Nasdaq had a really good bounce on our demand zone there. Nasdaq above prior high. ES is still right below it. Your prior high for ES is 7792. Might do a longer stream today since today's going to be my last day until next week. So hoping we can find some good entries here and we get some volatility. A little bit of a chop here. Orb has not been formed. Pretty tricky day so far. Don't tell me we're going to revisit the low again. Miv, are you seeing anything on the Nasdaq? Or even the equities? What's the chip stocks doing? Yeah, it's kind of being suppressed here on ES. Like right here, right now, currently, guys, this here, this 7768 to 7770, um, we're seeing some negative deltas being built up here, right? I mean, if we continue to act as support here, I'm interested, but then this is such a deep pullback. I wouldn't. So what I would have wanted, right, if we had this passive buyer pushing, absorbing those sell orders, right? You get a sweep here. You pushed up. What I would have wanted was maybe the 76s to hold as support, right? And I would have wanted a stronger push up. I would have wanted maybe like a push into the 85s where it gets rejected, right? And then we get a little bit of a pullback, retracements into the 76 to 78s. That would have been my entry. That would have been the scenario that I wanted to look for. But we're not getting that. Now we're getting a deeper pullback. Now, would you consider this as passive sellers stepping in here? Yeah, you could. Yes, definitely. Knowing that we saw those that aggressive buyer becoming trapped at market open, right, inside our supply zone. So the thing is, it's just a very small range, and that rejection actually kind of happened really fast. This is starting to this is starting to become bearish here. Nasdaq right below the 29,900. Anyone in the short here? Or are you guys waiting as well? Was looking for long, but step aside at 29,950s. You shorted at 29,950s. Good stuff. Waiting. Yeah, it's pretty unclear for me right now currently. Waiting for IB to form. Let's look at the stats today, actually. You just made a new low here on ES and you're trading right above it again. Too many orders here. I don't know, guys. This is something that I don't want to participate in, to be honest. like yes, it's bouncing in our demand zone, right? But I'm getting a lot of conflicting information here. We are getting absorptions right at the top, so I can't really long unless we start seeing like a good confirmation. Again, I need to see a break above the 85s, right? Maybe we can use this as a level of interest once we start breaking above it, right? Maybe for a retracement to play the upside. For the short side, I mean, I would have wanted a deeper pullback or a deeper retracement here. Like, am I being too bull biased for me not to take the short here at the at this absorption here? Maybe, right? Maybe. But again, my argument is we're literally like at the 80s. We're literally like 5 to 7 points away from this demand zone. This is my potential area of bounce. So I can't really, if I'm going to initiate a short here, knowing that this is a potential area to bounce. I mean, you could scalp it, I guess. Agree, Lance. Very hard to read. Fareed said, "Prior me would have entered buys, but I waited for retracement as." Thank you for the learning, sir. Of course, of course. Yeah, so typically when I mean that's a right approach, Lance. Like typically if I'm able to um kind of argue both sides, especially at a certain level, it's hard for me to kind of enter a position, right? It's not going to give you much confidence once you're in a trade because then you're going to second guess yourself. Like, oh crap! If like for example, if you wanted to be short here, right, knowing that you have a demand zone here, like once price starts coming down here, you're like, oh crap! Like this might bounce here at this level, and you're gonna make irrational decisions. Probably break. Dustin said, I felt like today's a quick scalp only day. I think there's a move coming today. It's just a matter of when. I can't be short while QQQ holding 721, which is on Nasdaq. Took two longs there. Power break can hold about 770. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, Vape. I think if we can break above here, oops, touch the 84s, 85s, get a little bit of retracement, that's gonna be our entry. We'll put our stops. We'll see how this develops. So we'll probably put our stops below the 72s or 74s. Anyone here using the Gex levels or get like are you guys watching that? And if so, is there any I know someone Arch was it you Arch? Yeah, you were the one who shared it, right? Is there a service or any of those platforms that provides Jax levels? Can they translate it to the futures? Meaning can they plot it to the futures levels? Like for SPX, can they plot it to the ES? That's what I'm trying to see if there's anyone because that would be easy. That would be like being able to plot that and being able to plot the expected move for today. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I have an indicator for trading for free if you want. But where are you getting the you? That's the thing, Arch. Where are you getting the data from? Right? Where are you getting the data? Is it straight from CBOE? or whoever the provider is. That's what I'm trying to. That's where I'm at right now. I need to find someone who I know that where they're getting their data from is from a reliable source, and they're not doing the calculations themselves. Or I mean, you still have to do your calculations, but getting it from the source and not getting it from the from the broker data. Have you compared it, Arch? Have you compared it to the? Maybe I'll have to do that. I'll let you guys know. Again, I just started looking into it last week. It's gonna take me some time, probably a month or two. I mean, I already know the basics. I just need to understand how the data is being, you know, where they're getting their data from. It's different every time I compare with my friends' unusual whale data. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Right now, I'm using free resources while learning. Eventually, I will move on to a paid version as well. Gotcha. I mean, to be honest, Arch, it's you can get away with free data. I think you can get away with free data if you understand how like to calculate it. Trap sellers here, nah, I'm. It's very iffy here, guys. I'm watching it. Don't worry. I'm watching the chart as well. But while we're watching it, while we're waiting, we can just have a conversation about this because this is something that I want to add into my trading, the Gex levels or Gex levels. And I've been monitoring it the past week, the one that you provided, Arch, and it's pretty helpful to be honest. I can see the value in it. Gotcha, Arch. Thanks. Nothing so far, guys. One information right now is the Nasdaq made a new low, and now you're back above the 29,900. Really, there's a lot of transaction happening at that 29,900, guys. A lot of transaction, and I'm viewing it more like bullish now as before. The thing is, I'd like to see a move away from this zone, and then we see new participants coming in. Ooh, Tanuki. Yes, I heard about Tanuki. More big orders coming in here at the 7769s level. And we're getting a little bit of a reaction here now. But again, you're still right below that 7780s. I think we need to let's put a mark here at the 7780s. I think this is something that we can, that we need to get above for us to be comfortable in the long. Am I looking for a short at 7778? I want to see how price react there. The thing is, do I want to short? I don't think so. It can work, but it's not in my plan. I mean, as long as you're being supported here at this demand zone here, I just can't bring myself to short anywhere here. If anything, the short will come at the supply zone. All right, at this red box right here. I mean, if you guys are scalpers, I mean, this is something that you can, I mean, that's the level that you can use, right? Use this as your areas of interest for a potential short, right? You're looking to target maybe the 70s, the 72s. And if it starts coming down, you can just trail um, you can trail your position. What made me switch from options to futures? I didn't switch. I'm still trading options. It's just that I'm more active in the future world than options. Um, I'm 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 leveraging the prop firm world, right? So instead of just using my own account, I'm using, 5 other accounts from different prop firms. So right now I have 12 accounts from prop firms right now. So I'm able to leverage that. Whereas in options, I mean, that's also a leverage instrument, right? But I think you can get more out of the futures. You're trading your futures account, your personal account, plus the prop firm accounts. And I wouldn't recommend that for beginners. I think taking it slow and finding your edge is your first priority, and then you can start leveraging more prop accounts as you progress. I do SPY and KQ. For equities, I focus more on the high beta stocks. So that's your Amazons, Teslas, Apples, Google. Now there's memory names, right? Um, but that's like more of a swing trade for me. I do not trade gold futures. No, sir. Morning, Sharag. Hot take from Lance. Hot take. Options should be used for investment, swing trades. Trading low DTE and zero DTE are more flipping a coin. Uh, yes and no. Yes and no. If you don't know what you're doing, obviously, right? Obviously. Because with zero DTEs or short term expirations in the option world, right? A 5 point move. So for futures, it's a fixed amount, right? If you make 5 points, that's literally 5 points. Whatever you make, that's what it is, right? With options, there's a lot of things that play, that comes with it. That's your Greeks. So if there's volatility, right? If you, for example, if you catch it on a zero DT, it multiplies your investment. For example, let's say if you buy one contract of SPY on a zero DTE account, right? I used to do this. I mean, I still do it from time to time. Like for example, if you grab it around two p.m. the closer to expiration, right? 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern time. Those contracts are really cheap. I'm talking like maybe 40 cents, 50 cents. And if you get it right, right, if you time the move right, for example, if it moves $2, $3 in your direction, you're looking at being up 2x, maybe 3x of your investment, right? So if you, again, it all comes to risk management, and vice versa, obviously, right? If you if you don't know what you're doing, if you leverage into the options, I mean, obviously you're gonna lose a lot of money as well. So if you think about it, if you're an options trader, if you think about it this way, options is a fixed amount that you're gonna lose, right? Whatever contract you buy, for example, if you buy $100 worth of contract, that's the only amount you're gonna lose, right? $100. It's a fixed amount. With futures, I mean, you can move your stop loss and you can lose more. Could you please share the detailed video on the option strategy? I'm sorry, but I'm not. It's gonna take a lot of time, and I don't think I'll do that. What's going on, Nathan? Let's get the likes up, guys. We have about 55 people watching here. We only have 15 likes. Can we please get to 25? 30 will be nice. Smash the like button, please. Appreciate it. Oh yeah. Whoops. I even. About the You're right. There's my volume profile. All right, guys. So this is my plan. All right. I want to see a push above the 80s here. I want to see a push above the 80s, maybe the 85, 86, where it gets rejected for a retracement. And I'll look for an entry right around this box here to play the continuation to the upside. Okay. My stop loss would be, it's going to be the 70s or the 69s. It's going to be right below this level here. Again, if I also see something around this level, right, I may move my stop loss there. We'll see, right? I'm just pre-planning what my plan is if I'm playing the long side. And if you're short, which I'm not currently looking into shorting unless we're inside the supply zone, is this 778 780s. If you see some rejections, if you see a proper confirmation, you're more than welcome to play the scalp short side there. But for right now, shorting here is not in my plan. DT, please go on vacation. I'm very close to payout. I will after this stream today. I think I'm gonna stream a little longer, maybe until 12. We'll see. Just hoping for a good price action before I leave here. Just somewhere local, Dawson, in my area. It's another. Just taking the kids to a water park for a couple days. It's kind of like a last hurrah before school starts. Would you guys like a longer stream? Maybe until 12. You know it, Dawson. The lazy river. That's the first thing I'm gonna go to. But the thing is, I have a 4-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, and I have a 1-year-old. So I don't think I'm gonna be in the lazy river. I'm gonna be chasing those little goons all over the place. And they're all boys, by the way. So for anyone that have kids and boys, especially if they're boys, man, you know what I'm talking about. How you and your wife are busy, yeah. Boys are a handful. I mean, I think they're just. It's like they have a death wish. They really do have a death wish. Like they don't. They're as soon as they wake up, their plan is to how am I gonna get hurt today? What can I do to hurt myself? It's crazy. Like said, that's almost like me. I have a 6-year-old, almost a 4-year-old, and soon new baby. Hey, congrats, Arch. All boys too. Yeah, Miv knows. But you only have one boy though, Miv. I think. Wait until you get two. If you think one is a handful, man, imagine three. Boys Nasdaq, girls ES. That's a good way to put it. I'm gonna tell my wife that. I mean, she doesn't really know what ES and Nasdaq is, but that's a good way to put it. Oldest one is a boy and a girl and a new boy. Oh, nice. No more kids coming, Viv. Hey, you don't know. Now Nasdaq's being pinned at the 29,900. We need to see something here. Yeah, I mean, our third one, I was hoping for a girl. I honestly was hoping for a girl, but God had other plans, it seems. God did it one piece for you, right? Chaos. Keep going, Shirag. Jeez, this price action, guys. A little bit of absorption there at the 7775s. You feel like August is always like this? Um, I was anticipating summer to be kind of choppy. I mean, yeah, but we had tons of volatility. More aggressive buyers there at the 75s. All right, guys, that's something that I'm going to keep an eye on there. All right, 75s, guys. Pay attention. This is time to focus up. Keep an eye on the 75s. That's going to be an area of interest there. Let's see a push up here to the 80s, to the 85s maybe. Let's see a little bit of a reclaim right above. Let's look for a retracement, right? That retracement wherever it is, right? Maybe the 80s to 78s. Our stop loss, okay? I'm going to use the 75s as a stop loss. But again, I need to see the condition that I need to see is a break above the 80s to the 84s first. There's a passive seller there at 7777. Lucky number. Did not get filled yet. That got filled. Guys, be careful in trying to follow a trade after those absorptions happen. There has been a lot of fake outs happening. I think it's best to kind of wait for confirmation there. Now we're testing the 75s here. A little early to be testing this level. I would have wanted to push up. No, C is for alerts. Nathan, I don't do limit orders. I rarely do limit orders. C, if you see a C on the chart, it's an alert. Yeah. Chirag, does your wife trade too, or It's just you and the family. Man, we are just not getting any momentum. This is kind of your battle zone here. The 7780s to 7765. Ooh. Whoa. 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 There's the move. There's the move. All right. What was that? My goodness. All right, here's the news. The USA has total control over the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump just sent a tweet. This is such a crazy market. Anyone's like, yeah, you have 100K to throw around. Show you SS. Wait, what do you mean SS? Oh, screenshot. I mean, at least it's green. At least you're green. All right, here's the tweet. Let me just read it out loud by Donald Trump. That's why we had the reaction. The USA has a total control over the Strait of Hormuz. I think we will keep it. Our naval blockade is being called by everyone a wall of steel, and there's nothing Iran can do about it. They have no navy, they have no air force, the remaining soldiers are unpaid, the IRGC is decimated and fleeing, and their leadership is uncertain at best. They have no money. Their country is shot. All they have is fake news and 300% inflation, and getting worse. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is no longer. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. Again, I don't want this to be political. I'm just letting you guys know what Donald J. Trump said. And that's the reaction that we got. I have no view. I will not tell you what my position is. I am neutral. I'm here to trade the stock market, and that's it. So for any of you guys trying to, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are not, but I have no view. If you guys are asking, I will remain neutral. But it's definitely a circus out there. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, it does. I mean, imagine what 4, 5 years ago, right? It was much. I mean, I think it started after COVID. News started to travel fast, and then markets started to react much faster. I think that's when it started. But before that, I mean, it was pretty right. It would take a while for the market to kind of digest it. Now we have all these algos that's reading the news, and it's just basically reacting to it. DK says, I am Canadian and it's fun to watch. Mib is Canadian too. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I gotta use the restroom. All right, I'm back. Mib is the one that brought me to this fun world of trading. Wow, what a friend you are, Mib. How dare you? All right, here we go. Some passive limit orders there at the 74s, 75s. He's got like 5 payouts. Wow, nice, DK. Let's go. Miv is still here. Oh yeah, that's Johnny, by the way, Miv. It's J3. I don't know if you remember him. I think the spike cleared lower liquidity, good chance we break higher. Yes, I mean, as long as I can't initiate a short along here. It's got to be, I think a confirmation would be above the 80s. So that's why I have this marked here now in the box. And I have an alert there because I think a cleaner move will come once we break above that level and we get a retracement. Until then, I think we're just gonna get. I don't want to. The thing is, I don't want to get trapped, right, in a consolidation. That's one thing that I don't want to get into. Can we get a move? Anyone else seeing anything at all? Because I'm honestly, I don't, like, again, I don't want to execute anything until at least for a long, unless we break above the 80s. Oops. Let's see if we have any liquidity above. So for ES, we got some liquidity above the 85s, the 95s, and the 800s. Below us, not any significant amounts, really. Yeah, pretty barcode. I mean, I wouldn't blame you, Lance, to be honest. You know what's gonna be funny if we, let's say, if we, as soon as we end the stream, we get a move and out of this consolidation phase. Yeah, like yesterday, honestly. They're waiting for me to stop streaming. Any ICT traders out here? Any, by the way, by any chance? Or previously was an ICT trader? I want to ask you guys something. Nathan, I was. So what do you think? So with ICT, and now you're learning how to trade order flow. What has it helped you? Are you still using ICT concepts and using order flow as confirmation? Stop asking me about my dark past. Land to yes, IT, but I feel order flow is much cleaner and has better entries. Me, because I feel like I mean I know a couple of my friends that trader friends that traded ICT concepts, and I mean, and I also know a little bit about it. I've never traded it, but I feel like if you've traded ICT and then you're going into order flow, and combining both, I think it's a pretty powerful tool. I mean, tool, right? Because ICT is basically candlestick formation. So you're able to read candlestick, and now you're using, instead of using candlestick as your confirmation to take a trade, you're using order flow as your confirmation to take the trade. So you have ICT as your setup on the candlestick chart, and then you have order flow to confirm your entry. I feel like that would help. ICT, Nathan said, I see just BPM levels in the chart to help me way more. I used to normally get in late and I was never confident in setups. I've totally eliminated ICT with the exception of fair value gaps. BPR. Yeah, DK, you have cleaner reads on fail value gaps. What's BPR? Sorry, I don't know any of the. I don't know all of the terminology. Only fair value gaps and finding liquidity where price will next go. That's it. But volume profile has helped a lot to find how volume nodes and target liquidity. It's helped me a lot. I was doing ICT 3 to 4 months ago. I had no idea what was going through behind the scenes. Just hope maxing. ORDERFLOW has been like a rebirth in my trading journey. Still not profitable though. Okay, Vimal. BPR is pretty much our bar. Got it. I mean, yeah, same. I mean, for me, and Miv can say this as well. For me, like before I was introduced to ORDERFLOW, I was trading supply and demand, right? And that's also based on candlestick formation, right? Like your order blocks, what you call your order blocks, those are basically your demand zones or supply zones. That's how we draw them, and that's how I used to trade. And yeah, you're right. I've never had the full confidence that I had when I was trading order flow. And I think that supply and demand strategy combined with order flow is for me it's I wouldn't say my holy grail, but something that made sense to me and gave me a lot of confidence in taking a trade. 100%. What do they call those? DK? DK said, yeah, fair value gap that gets reversed by a fair value gap. I know someone on X keeps saying that inversion or whatever. It's just funny because when do you know when the inversion stops? What if there's an inversion inside an inversion inside an inversion inside an inversion? Fair value gap. Remember you had those supply and demand? Yeah. Yeah. Those days. Gino said, new here. Welcome. Found you on X. Love the simplicity. I do also use VWAP bands, one standard deviation to look at developing value throughout the session, and high time frame composite profile nodes. Is it something? Yes. Gino. Yes. 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 VWAP and standard deviations. Yep. I mean, that's basically it, right? So you're using VWAP and then you have a setting of one standard deviation from above and below, if I'm not mistaken. But now I just use VWAP. Lance, why don't you use Bookmap? I think they have a sometimes they have a deal, right? 50% off for 3 months, or even more, 60% off for 3 months. Maybe try that out. And if you're just starting new, I mean, why not try Motivewave? It's free if you buy a Lucid account with them. You got to start somewhere, right? I think Heatmap on Motivewave is pretty helpful. The option one, Christine. So the second one. Just a regular. So, Vape, what composite profile do you use? Just a regular volume profile for the week. And I'm also, I mean, I'm also looking at TPO, right? But it's not something that the TPO I only look for, the if there's any single prints, or if there's any, if this is something that you haven't learned, I don't think, just don't jump into it. It's nothing. It's a little it's gonna take a little time to learn this, but you don't really need to. I just use it for levels of interest as well, in confluence with what the volume profile is spitting out. Getting a little bit of a pullback here now again, but again, nothing to. If you're gonna short, as I've said, 7778 to 7780. I think getting it near there, that could be your short trade. Just look for scalps targeting the 70s, targeting this blue zone here. And if you're looking to long, again, I think a good long with confirmation would be a break above the 7780. So just because I'm not talking about trading, that doesn't mean I'm not watching the chart. I'm still watching the chart. It's just not giving me anything currently. So it's pure barcode right now. Again, Christine, are you trading? Do you have a personal account? And if you do, and if you want to try for free for now, I think they have a 7-day or 14-day free trial. And if you don't want to do that, I mean, just buy a Lucid account. Buy it if you want to buy it cheap. Buy the 25K, and you don't really have to trade it. Just use it for the data, right? It's literally free data, free Motivewave license, right? And you're paying what, $60, not a month, just $60 flat out. I think you have about 90 days. You can just put one trade on that account for a couple weeks, maybe once every 2 weeks, just to keep that, just so you can have that's kind of a hack right now, right? Just so you have the data for it. And this goes for everyone. There's literally no catch. It's if you want to try if you want to try Motivewave, if you want to find it for cheap, right? Instead of paying for the data, because if you get Motivewave on its own, if you get the subscription, you're paying for the monthly, which is right around the 30 or $40, and then you had to pay for the data. And the data is right about 20 to $30 as well. So that's gonna cost you $60 a month. Whereas if you grab an account with Lucid, again, I'm not affiliated with them, you'll get it for free one time. And you just take one trade, maybe per couple weeks. It's 1 month of 90 days inactivity. Yeah, so just take one trade every couple weeks. Basically just in and out. You don't have to stay in the trade. Yeah, AMP does that. AMP, if you have an AMP account, they will, I think it's Quant Tower, and then there's another account, I think, Lance, if I'm not mistaken. There's one more platform that they give for free. Because I have an AMP account with them for my personal. But I use Motivewave. Multi-charts, but that sucks for order flow trading. Gotcha. Iron Beam. No, they don't, Lance. I mean, that's kind of that's how they're kind of marketing it so that you buy the 3 month because they don't even have a monthly. They it's only quarterly and yearly. 'I don't know why Streamlabs blocked your message, Ghost. You didn't really say anything bad. What? Ghost said Iron Beam, Sierra chart, and Denali data. Four minutes left until the 11 o'clock time frame. Blue Guardian gives deep chart platform. Um, I'll need to look into that because I heard that they only give data for it. I might be wrong. Vimal. Do you have an account with them? And can you confirm or Don said since we are chopping, can you go over to your main setup? Okay, so the main setup. Let me enlarge this currently. And I'm just gonna talk about what's on my chart, all right? So first is this. This is the volume profile, and this is RTH, so regular session. So how you plot it is it should be in your study, right? Volume profile or in your drawings. I literally just I click it, I grab it from the 930 mark, and then I just drag it, and it should auto populate, right? So that's that. Next is my market generated levels. And what that is these lines here. So let me make it bigger so you guys can see. Again, this auto plots it. It's called OHLC, so open high low close on Motivewave. Let me make it 20 so you guys can see it. So what I have on my chart is the O, which is the opening price, PH is prior high, OH is opening high, overnight high, and the ORH is your orb, right? The white line. ORL is your orb low. That's the 15-minute time frame. L means the low of day. C means close previous day. OL is the overnight low. The one on the right hand side is going to be your delta profile. So if I double click it, it's basically volume imprint, right? You go in your study, right? All studies, and then you type volume imprint. This should pop out. You uncheck everything, right? Because you just want the summary, right? So you click this little arrow here. You go to summary profile. You click show summary, type. You click delta, align to the right wherever you want it, right? And I have it on a 30-minute time frame since I have the full session on my footprint chart. So that's basically it. These blue zones and red zones, those are manually inputted by me, right? Those are areas of interest. Typically, your red zones are your supply zones. The blue is typically your demand zones. Same thing with the green, right? Your demand zones, and the white areas are usually your intraday levels that I mark out. That's basically it. I used to use the DOM, depth of market, but I honestly don't need it. I mean, it's in my chart now. I see everything here, right? I see the delta profile, right? And on heat map, I see the big trades that's coming in, all the trades that are transacted. Uh, Again, these are aggressive orders, those bubbles, and then and then these lines here are your limit orders, right? So I really don't have a need of the DOM, and I have footprint, which is also on my other chart. Next thing I'm trying to do is to, I don't know if there's going to be a way for me to not look at the footprint, right? But what I'm trying to do now is to see if I can integrate footprint and heat map together. And if I can do that, it's going to be in one chart, right? So I'm literally looking at this chart here, which would be, I think would be great. Again, all the indicator or all the setup for my for Motivewave, I've shared all the templates in the Discord. And if you're not in it, don't worry. I'll be opening it up soon. Again, for invites. Do you use tick compression for ES? For the delta profile, yes. So it's 2 ticks. So just I can see it right without kind of making it big, making it big. So 2 ticks on the delta profile. On the volume profile, I don't really compress it. On the footprint, it's a 20 tick range. It's a range chart, so 20 ticks per bar. It looks good. It'll look good. Okay. Hope that kind of helped, guys. I mean, we're just sitting here, so it's good that we were able to go over that. Well, DK said, "Damn, I got a meeting to go to. Time for a big move." Have a good one, DK. Any other questions? I mean, shoot away. I'm here. What triggers my trade? I have two setups, two main setups that I look for. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'd see the same setups, the same trade recaps that I do. It's low volume node and absorptions, right? What triggers my setup is I like the absorption trade um, for reversals, and I like low volume nodes for continuation. And what I mean by that is for continuation, I'd like to see an impulse move to the upside. So like this, we push up, and then which creates a low volume node, which you can see on the volume profile, and I'll look for that retracement for that low volume node to act as support to play the continuation. And this setup typically, is good for trending days, and vice versa to the downside, right? For absorptions are typically good in a ranging market or in a balance, when you have a big range. That's also good for continuation. Like when you see a push up outside of the zone, right? And you get a pullback where you see trap participants, meaning like if there are sellers that are coming in and price is not moving up or down, that could also be your, that could also be a trending day, a trending setup. How long do you let RTH profile develop before making LVM levels? So, wait, let me just try to understand it. How long do you let RTH profile? It's throughout the whole day, right? It's throughout the whole day. So this will change. This volume profile here on my left side will change as price develops, right? In a low volume node strategy, you would want that level, like whenever you see a low volume nodes, and if it's a for example, if it's a valid low volume node, price typically will not spend a lot of time on that level. For example, let's say you had a, let me just put this on the right side here so there's no chart. You have a push up, right? And then you create a low volume node here, for example, right? And price continue up. Typically, price will not spend a lot of time on that retest. What it will do is it will either come up at the top of that low volume node, right? And then bounce right away. Or you can probably see something like this. Push up, you get a quick liquidity sweep there, and then immediately gets above that level. So my entry would be, right, if you get a push up, I usually like to take an entry right at this level, above the low volume node. And my stop will be right below it. Again, if I see a proper confirmation. Any suggestions for footprint reading? It's gonna take a lot of time to read. It's all about screen time, right? And I'm looking at the footprint. I'm not just looking at it, solely the footprint. I'm using footprint with the heat map. If you can use these two together, I mean it's easier to read when you use those two together. But it's gonna take screen time, a lot of screen time. I don't think it's something that I can show you the setup right in real time when it's developing, but I think that's the best way to learn it. DT, quick question about your absorption trade. Do you wait for the retest of that level? Typically, I like to wait for a retest. It doesn't have to be at that same exact level. For example, this is a good example, John. Pay attention, right? You see these absorptions here, right? A retest, you get a immediate push to the downside, and if you get a retracement, it doesn't necessarily need to retest that level, right? The retest can come right here or right below it. What you need to look out for is you get that large um, delta activity, right? The absorption, you get a push, sorry, oops. You get a push down, right? What you're looking for the retracement is participants, right? You want to see it on the heat map where there are, for example, you see large aggressive buyers and price is not moving up. That could be your indication, right, for an entry. Your invalidation would be, you could use this absorption as your invalidation area, meaning that you can use this as a stop loss area. So wherever you're taking a trade, wherever you're entering the trade based on the absorption, a proper stop loss would be right at where the absorption happened. So think about it as buyers and sellers, right? If buyers are stuck here, right, sellers would try to defend it anywhere around here. They would not want it to break above this level, because then if it breaks above, it'll put them in pain, right? And they're going to be forced to close out their position. And when they close out the position, for short sellers, what do? They buy back, right? And that's going to introduce a squeeze to the upside. Hope that made sense. So if you're looking for an entry in absorptions, right, you would look for an entry or retracements within, again, you're probably gonna see it on the heat map, right? But you can use that as your stop loss area. I guess my question is where are you marking the low volume nodes from since the value changes throughout the day? It'll leave a low volume node there. It'll leave, so if that's a valid low volume node when price goes, like I said, what I just said, right? I think that just confirms it. If you get a push up, it will not revisit that like it will if price doesn't come down to that level and consolidate, right? Or comes down here and revisits, it will not fill that low volume node, right? Volume will not transact there. So it's going to leave it as a low volume node. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why so that's why I said, like, if there's a large influx move to the upside, right? And if you get a retracement off of that low volume node, you want for that to be a valid LVN, you want that to stay unfilled. You want it to stay like this. But if it starts to come, like for example, if it starts to come up and starts to come down here and consolidate, that to me is just invalidating this low volume node. And we're probably going to head back down. Yeah, that's why I hate I don't like trading Nasdaq, because Nasdaq's retracements are a little bit volatile. It's a little bit aggressive. That's why I said reading order flow is so much easier on ES than Nasdaq. All right, keep an eye here, guys. New information right now. Pay attention. Pay attention. Absorptions here at the low at 7762. You're getting a little bit of a push up here now. I might take an early entry here. Let's see, let's make that 18 actually. Keeping an eye here on this 62s. It's right there, 7762. You can also see it on the heat map. I mean, on the order flow, on footprint. Miv, look at the footprint. Look at the 7762s. You can see that right there. So keeping an eye on that one. Let's confirm it on the time and sales, actually. Here, view. Alexa, stop. Yep, it's right there. Miv, it's just broken down. You see it? Aggressive sells right there. Below the bid being filled. 7762s and 7763s. Would you guys want this up or no? It's too much information. What do you guys think? Do you guys want this up or no? I think it's just going to confuse you guys. close it out. I have it on my other chart. Do I use it often? I mean, I look at it if for example, if there's anything that pops up like this, I sometimes I like to confirm it on the time and sales and see how it gets filled. There's more coming through there at the 7767s. Nasdaq though is still below the 29,900. What is my volume filter on that one? It's 10. I think it's 10 or 15. But with Nasdaq, you need it lower. For ES, I think 10 is good. 5 or 10 is good. But for Nasdaq, I think I would leave it at 1 or 5. Calling it off a day would be a better idea. Yeah, I think so. Volume starting to dry out here. I use 100, 150, 200 for 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute chart for ES. Man, that's a lot of chart to look at for ES. Wait, do you use the heat map or no? All right, guys, I'm gonna give it until 11:30 here. If we don't see anything, I think we're gonna call it a day. Let me see. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Yeah. The thing is, I would change the filter on that one, meaning like the limit orders. I would change it if I'm gonna have the footprint and the heat map together. I'll probably have it only shows like I think above 20 or above 50. Jeez, I was actually hoping for a good day today, a good volatility day. Seems like we're just gonna chop. I bet a lot people lost accounts today. Oh, I'm already seeing it. I'm already seeing it on my X feed. I'm already seeing a lot of blown accounts on my X feed. What else? So what else do you guys want to see in the streams, in our live streams? Give me some ideas. Do you guys just want to see pure trading? Do you guys want to see, I don't know, some type of entertainment? Which I kind of don't want to. I honestly don't. I just want. I mean, sometimes when the market is kind of, I guess, just chopping, but mostly I kind of want it to be just strictly trading content. Have you done back testing before? No. To guys, I think the best way to I've done it. I've done back testing, but I'm back testing not from the candlestick aspect of it, where you do where you do a rewind. What I do is I would record what I'm doing right now, right? I would record my chart and the heat map and sometimes the footprint, right? And I would record it the whole session. After the session is over, if I did take a trade, if I didn't take a trade, I would re-watch it and see if I saw something on the video, right, on my live stream, that if I missed anything, right, or if I took a loss, like what did I do wrong on that day, and I would watch the video. I think it's hard to kind of review or do a back test um, with order flow, because then it becomes hindsight for me, at least. I mean, obviously it's actually hindsight, but I think recording your screen and just rewatching it, I think is better. Honestly, nothing is what I come here for. Personally, I'm not looking for to be entertained. I want to be a good trader. I mean, true. Yeah, true, Lance. Just need a face guy. It's coming soon. You see, it's so close. I think it's gonna happen before year end. I mean, peak viewer was 65, almost 70 yesterday. And I said that if we start to get 100 concurrent viewers, I'll do a face reveal, and then we'll do a little bit of a contest on who can guess my nationality. Don't say it, Miv, but who can guess my nationality, and we'll do a giveaway. I would like to provide some info about fake outs through order flow. What do you mean by volumetric bars? Period. Have you ever thought about doing coaching? Um, isn't this kind of coaching right now, like the live streams? If you think doing mentorship, I will never, ever, 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 ever do that. I will never, ever charge someone for me to do a mentorship for them. and someone record this, if I ever do it in the future, you can pull this up. Again, I'm going to say it. I will never, ever, ever, ever do a paid mentorship in the future, now or ever. If you're if it's a one-on-one, I mean, you can ask questions here in the live stream, right? And then I'll try to answer the best way I can. And in the future as well, in the Discord, we're gonna do an open mic, and then that's where we can conversate, and it's gonna be a small setting. So that's gonna be in the future as well. That's in the works. Yeah, I'm gonna call it as well, everyone. Again, no trade for me. Pretty choppy day. I wanted to see. So going for the rest of the session, I'll have alert set. I'll have the 7780, the 78s, right? If we can break above the 80s to the 84s, so we get a retracement, I'll look for longs there, and I think we can see some big moves, given the fact that we're kind of compressing here, right? I'm expecting if we break above this zone, whether upside or downside, I'm gonna expect a continuation, and I'm leaning more towards bullish, right? I'm leaning more towards the upside here. But that's it. Just a reminder that I'm not gonna be here tomorrow and Friday. I'm gonna go on vacation. That's gonna be my last one for the year, I think. Uh, but after that, I should have more time to kind of do more live streams and be more active on the Discord. But as always, I hope you guys have a good one. I hope you guys have a good trading week for the rest of the week. Please stay safe. Please stay disciplined. And do not force any trades. Have a good one, guys. Peace.